this look is older than all of us.
And that's saying something.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of math today and dipping
like
back into
ignorance is bliss.
91 is just 30 something years ago. Okay, well that's it. But would you change anything up here?
I mean, this stripe is kind of tiny right now, but it wasn't before. So
but that's fair. But imagine being the same look for the past 40 plus years.
I think I'm almost at that point. Next on Ugly Thirds.
Okay, or not.
Welcome back to another episode of Ugly Thirds. Today's topic is...
The camera's shaking. Is so emphatic. So excited.
The Detroit Red Wings seating stripes. Shrems and John, take it away.
Wow, he changed up the order as a statement. Wow,
we're running out of siding. How many more of these do we have?
2? 3 more after this. 3 more, including this one.
Okay.
So, the basis is we're going to do a bracket of the best current look in the NHL. In order to get to that, we have to seed them to put them in the bracket. So we're ranking all of them East and West, and we're nearly done with the East. So starting there with Boston, followed by the Rangers, Sabres, Penguins, Blue Jackets at the best, the Flyers, Hurricanes, and Capitals at the worst. We have to place the Detroit Red Wings in here this episode.
40 years of the same look.
Yeah,
with little sprinkles of third jerseys and special event jerseys in there. But for the most part, this hasn't changed.
Yeah, no, Phil, tell us the history here.
Well, you wrote, so the red one, 1932, it was fixed, and so both jerseys were fixed in 1983.
That's because we don't want little jerseys running around, so we fix them.
Yes, we did.
It's my spay and neuter joke.
Bob Barker is smiling somewhere in heaven. The white one, 1956. Again, both fixed 1983, and then...
Because the logos were a little off. Like, the wheel was centered for a while.
It was smaller.
It was much smaller. Yeah. They had 1 year of a goofy font that was much like the Stadium Series... the Winter Classic against Toronto. Just a weird thing. That all ended, and they haven't changed a thread.
Yeah, I don't know what this first year's for. 2017 to present.
Oh, that's the current Adidas. The current look, because obviously when it changes, like these are both the Reebok ones, so these go from 2007 to 2017. The Adidas ones, they change the collar, little differences.
I mean, this is a Nike, so if you want to see, like...
It's not much different.
It's a stripe that came up
like
a little bit.
Yeah, and there'd be, yeah, it's little itty-bitty changes.
So little nuances here and there, but not enough to, like...
Phil, if you want to put them up, just for the sake of argument, making sure we're covering the current Fanatics from shop.nhl.com. That's
there
what
it
you
is.
got now. It's the same thing.
Any name, just great player, any name.
And when you...
I actually strove to find the any names so that I'm not showing bias, but, whatever.
When you have a historical team like this, and we've talked about this at length over the duration of this show, you can't go in there and just completely tear it down.
No.
You cannot do that with Toronto. You can't do it with the Bruins, the Blackhawks, and there are teams that have changed. Those original 6 have changed over time.
It's about half. Well, I'm sure you can take that away, Phil. The Bruins have changed quite a bit. They're always hearkening back to oldish looks. They're updated. They're the team that's good at updating.
It's the bespoke.
Yeah, right. Like they subtle updates. They have subtle improvements. Toronto has made some big advancements, and then going back, they've also been good at updating. Blackhawks have been the same since the '60s. The Canadiens don't change; they're the same since the teens.
The Rangers,
they're the ones who they dabble in their third jerseys extremely well. Of let's do modern things, but they don't touch the home and road. And Detroit does nothing.
Yeah,
they're like Montreal. Detroit and Montreal they have their thing. They are their thing. Do not touch.
Yeah, and I think that's fine. Like there's nothing wrong with this look.
No.
It withstands the test of time. Dare I say it's iconic for the NHL.
I do believe they are the only team to never have a third jersey. They have worn some specialty jerseys like this. They wore 92. They wore the reverse retros. Phil's going to confirm, but I'm fairly certain they have never had a proper third jersey. So, and they may be the only ones.
That's cool.
Yeah. They're also one of the last ones to have a lace-up collar ever, because they never did. And then the Winter Classics changed that.
Imagine being so ingrained in your hockey history that you feel like, no, we don't need any of this, and our fans are still going to sit in the seats.
And buy the jerseys, and buy the merch, and 100%. Still support, and yeah.
100%.
And it's a great crowd. Am I right, Phil?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Makes you wonder, like, does a team like Detroit, if the look doesn't change, are we purely chasing, like, new manufacturers?
Yeah.
Essentially?
I mean, the difference in collar here versus collar there is what we're the kind of nonsense we're talking about.
But who's, I mean, outside of a very small percentage of people, who's chasing that?
No.
Nothing.
No.
Nobody.
Which is why you'll find these, current Adidas and Fanatics ones with Gordie Howe on the back, because people just don't see the difference.
They got to make money somehow.
Well, blasphemy. But
yep. This is easy. We're done.
Well, no, we got to place this.
Well, we got to place it, but this one's an easy talk.
Well, it's obviously on that end of the scale.
It is, but do we factor in teams like Columbus that have a third and do it well? Do we factor it in here because Toronto did the third but did it poorly? This is just home and road. Like there is
a lot less there.
Stripped down.
Now, okay,
pure as it can be.
Let's because there's not as much to say. Let's head off some of the thoughts of it's original six. You're just groveling at the altar of original six.
Oh, our good buddy who made that comment.
Yeah, there's been a couple, and they're not. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
You're not wrong, Charlie.
We give a little bit of reverence here, but like when you think of it is a very complex logo on a very simple jersey.
Yep.
That works, and we've seen that in other places. Columbus dabbles in that, honestly. The Islanders in their 80s era did that and did it very well. Having that balance works. The Chicago white is one of the most plain, basic jerseys out there, which is why it's copied by every minor high school, college team. It's just three stripes. But that super complex logo is a balance, and I think this has this. And in fact, there's only two colors. It's even simpler.
Yeah.
So that I think that detail balance is very. I have seen this named the best jersey in the league, the best jersey in sports in various magazines over the years.
Mm-hmm.
It is simple. It is iconic. It is effective. So I don't think it is simply, that. What keeps this from being stale?
The logo. For me, it's the logo. Like it was so well done so long ago. But here's the thing: if you wanna give this a facelift, you're playing with fire because people these days make terrible choices.
True.
You could add the striping like this down here, and it changes.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't detract from it. It gives it a little bit more character. But that's as far as I would go with changing anything here.
There's been lots of concepts of reintroducing that D logo they used in their first Winter Classic.
Yeah.
It worked. I mean, there's a number of decent ideas.
A team.
I guess really what separates this from the what is the difference between this and the Islanders? Because the Islanders you called stale, and I can't say you're entirely wrong, but this is not. What is the difference between timeless and stale?
Oh, this is a
deep philosophical
question.
question.
This is a tough question.
Let no one say we don't do due diligence.
It's hard for me to say because are the Islanders and the logo that we currently know them as, is it accomplished? Yes, it is.
Yep.
They tore things up in the 80s. But it hasn't withstood the test of time.
You think it's still too busy?
It's busy. The third that they have now, the NY with the stick, simplifies things a little bit.
I think part of it too is Islanders. It's a lot. If you didn't have the island there, like NY with the sticks.
Yeah.
We know it's the Islanders, but if you didn't know nothing about it, you wouldn't know it's the Islanders. You know that's Detroit.
The funny thing is, I was going to go in the exact opposite direction, and I don't think you're wrong. Like, this is not an argument against. But here, you have NY, you know it's New York, you have
Long
Islanders
Island.
written out. You can't mistake this team. You wear this in a team that hates, a city that doesn't like New York, for whatever. You wear this in Philadelphia, you're going to get hate from even people who don't know hockey because it's New York and Philly, or DC, or wherever, Boston. This doesn't say anything about anywhere. It evokes the region because of the tire, and we know Detroit is the Motor City. But there's nothing like if you were to go to Europe and wear this somewhere that hockey doesn't really exist, it's still a cool look. No one has to know. It could
There's
be
the timeless piece of it.
right. It could be any sport, anything. It could be from a novel or a sci-fi movie or
it looks
something.
like the shoes, the
Red Wing shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it is not. It's not even constricted to hockey stick. It's not constricted to a location. It represents a location, but you don't have to know that lore to think it's a cool logo. That said, where in here does it belong? I know where I'd put it.
My gut tells me that we're going to be toggling something in this region right here. But then, I mean, we're sitting back on this original 6 idea,
Right.
And there are some decent enough jerseys that aren't original 6.
I am right in here. Like I is this better than the Rangers? The Rangers jersey and font are better. The Red Wings logo is better, and you know the arch nameplate is a thing. There's even tradition where in the preseason it's not arched. You have to make the team to get the arch nameplate. I think it's either before or after the Rangers. That's where in my head.
I'm very curious as to where our next show is going to go. But as of right now, I would put them here for me. Because I and this is not a homer pick, I like the color scheme here a little bit better. That's just my preference. I can't necessarily say why I feel that way, but and it's again, it's not a homer pick, but it's you've always said it. It's the Buffalo Sabres. You can tell by the logo.
It's the same argument.
And it's a good color scheme. It's that royal and gold. But I'm not opposed to moving it here either.
I will say that only, and I will say it's ahead of Buffalo only because of that mismatched stripe on the white. I think if they had fixed that, I'd completely buy your argument.
Okay.
Now there is a bracket after this, and they're like, well, why do you know? Well, you never know when there's an upset. Upsets happen when you head to head something. Things can change. So this was a tough episode. We got deep on it, and we're getting closer. Getting closer.
Okay.
So he's Shrems. I'm John. Give us your hate mail in the comments, and Phil, take us out.
Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, ring the bell to get notifications when we post new videos, and come back for another episode of Ugly Thirds.
Do you think we could mute Charlie? Like, I know he's going to be upset with this, so if we could mute him now.
I think he'll be thrilled that you went against Buffalo.
Like, oh, that's true. But now he has to deal with top 3. Okay.